Hi, Luminaires. How is everybody doing today? My name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, and it's so nice to be here with you. Every now and then, I like to come on screen and just bring up some topics that you might be curious in and talk about them. So today, I want to talk about the layers of your auric field. Auric field. I actually like to call it your energy field. For me, the auric field sounds, I don't know, a little bit more woo woo. And I really like to say that it's not woo woo, it's true, true. So I tend to use more basic scientific words. So if we look at, hi, Martina. If we look at your auric field, if we look at your energy, you are not a stagnant little creature, or as I heard somebody say the other day, a skin suit and a meat suit. And I was like, that's a little much for me. Let's just say, not contained by the boundaries of your skin. I know we look at this and we tend to our skin, our largest organ, every day. Lotion it, bathe it, soap it, clean it, dirty it, comb, like everything. Wax it, I don't know. We laser it, we do so many things. So we give a lot of attention here, but we don't sit around and give attention to the space beyond the skin. And why would we? We don't necessarily see it. Not all of us see it. We don't bump into it, and we really pay attention to those things we bump into. So here we are, most of us not seeing it, not bumping into it. And so we're not giving it attention. But your energetic field can actually co create what's happening to you mentally, physically, and emotionally. Personally, I like to call it your cheat sheet. So for those of us who can perceive your energy field, whether that is seeing, hearing, knowing, smelling, tasting, that is a real thing. Look it up. That when we can perceive that, we get information about you. We understand how you are using your energy frequencies to present who you are. I know you think you have a lot of secrets, or you think you're hiding something that is just within you, but actually you announce it to the world. You are very open. Congratulations. So why do we need to know about these layers in our energetic field? Why? Why do you think? Okay, you're on a path. Let's say you are, at least, but you're on a path. A spiritual path, an awakening path. Maybe you just want to know more about life. Maybe you're just a curious being and you don't want to call it a path at all. You're just open. But you want to know more about, why do you think the way that you are? Why do you think what you do? Think. Why do you feel certain things? So there's a lot of really nice, what we're about to mislabel as mysteries. Let's just mislabel it right now as a mystery. There are a lot of sweet mysteries in life, such as you were just thinking about someone and they called you out of the blue. Or you were just thinking about a high school friend that you haven't seen in over 20 years, and lo and behold, you round the corner on the street and there they are. Or they're at the same restaurant. You know they don't live near you. You're like, it's like, what's happening? I was just thinking about you. Why is that? We're going to call that, mislabel it, as a mystery. How does this work? How do all these little weird things happen? How does you sitting you're sitting outside and you feel like somebody's staring at you? You just got this deep feeling that eyes are piercing into your back. And you turn around and somebody's just locked onto the back of your head. You're like, that's really creepy. Or how you can walk into a beautiful place and feel extremely creeped out and say, I gotta leave. And then you read the next day that something happened to that place. You're like, oh my God, I was there the day before and I just couldn't stand it. I had to leave. Or you were in a location and you had intrusive thoughts. That's what we're going to mislabel this. Intrusive thoughts about maybe a war or a fight or a misagreement or something. I don't know. And then all of a sudden you get online and you research about the location, and lo and behold, those intrusive thoughts were exactly what you were perceiving. How does all that work? Well, your energy field is a huge part of it. This space beyond your skin that we don't give a lot of credit and a lot of airtime to is what helps bring in the information from the subtle light energy that's around you. So you want to develop your psychic abilities, you want to develop that spiritual path that you're on, that step more into that awakening that you want to be a part of. Let's pay attention to what's here. I mean, look at it. You're in your human body, and let's say you want to have a better life, better quality of life. What are some advices that people give you? Well, look at what you eat, take care of your body, sleep more. How are your vitamin levels? What's the quality of your blood like? It's very attentive to the physical body, right? Now, what if you're sitting around going, yes, I understand this, but I want a more connective spiritual life. I want something that's more fulfilling for me. Are you going to sit around and get my eye is itching right now, which is a little weird, but let's do this together. Are you going to sit around and talk about how to feed the physical body and how to exercise the physical body to stay healthy, to have more of a spiritual path? Most likely, no. You're going to talk about, well, I mean, do you meditate? How are the quality of your thoughts? Do you have a mindfulness practice? Are you aware of what emotions you're feeling? Are you aware of what your body is feeling? I mean, like right now, can you actually, as you're viewing this, feel your heartbeat inside of your body? That's a very physical thing, but it's something that occurs all the time. We look over it. It doesn't really have a value to us into paying attention to it. But on a spiritual path or awakening or ascension, we got all these words for this, right? To be able to pay attention to your heartbeat can help you with the quality of energy that you hold. Just saying that. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to have you here. Yay. So, we look at wanting a better spiritual life. Let's look at what our auric field is actually doing for us. So that kind of might sound a little elusive to you because we don't necessarily see it all the time. We don't bump into it. It's very whimsical. No, it's subtle light energy. So how do we do that? You could do that in so many different ways, but I would say the first step is even discovering what your energy field is. You can do this with tools such as dowsing rods, such as pendulums. You can do this with scanning techniques using the palms of your hands to perceive subtle light energy. Palms of your hands have secondary chakras in them. They're actually really wonderful spiritual eyeballs. I'm talking about using your third eye a lot. These eyeballs in your palms of your hands are spectacular. So use this. How about doing some breathing exercises? How about closing your eyes and observing the space right beyond the barrier of your skin? Just imagine that you can see it. How about following your breath outside of your physical structure, getting into a layer of energy, and then outside of that energetic structure, and just see how far you can go with your awareness. But I will say, if you're using any technique that requires your mind to pay attention and you glitch out, all of a sudden you come to and you're like, oh, I was doing layers and I got like here and I just went, fell asleep, or I started thinking about what I need to buy, or I don't know, you just went into some like random thought, right? Poof, disappeared, then you come back to. Take note where it was that you lost track. Where was it? Because that might be a clear sign for you that you are comfortable with whatever you just did. But then that part where you kind of glitched out mentally, couldn't follow through, lost track, was reaching a new frequency for you, a new one that you just didn't maybe know what to call or what to process. So you just didn't quite know how to maintain it. So your brain checked out. It's all about learning and discovering. Just keep coming back to it and keep looking at it. So there's different schools of thought about your auric field. And if you're really super into this and you want to learn something more about it, I am teaching, I call them a little class, a little minute class. It's 45 minutes long tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time on Learn It Live. And so you can jump over there and kind of go through. I'm going to be very detailed and about what each layer means and talk about alternative ways to see your energetic field. So there's two big schools of thought. One school of thought is, and this is by Lead Beater. He's oh gosh, I'm blanking. Bioscientist, philosophist. He's a scientist, and I just blanked on what kind of scientist he was. I talk about him all the time. It's kind of weird. You can look him up. Anyways, so he kind of coined the term of first layer relates to the first chakra, second layer relates to the second chakra, third layer relates to the third, fourth to the fourth, fifth to the fifth. You're seeing the pattern, right? Good. We have 7 chakras, therefore we have 7 layers in our energy field. And then he has coined terms for them. And then by paying attention to the quality of each layer, that gives you information on how that person is using that layer to help them express their personality and their character. You can also tell when dis-ease is coming into the physical body because it will manifest in the energetic field and slowly creep through the layers until it comes into the physical body. And then there's this other school of thought, which is kind of led by Rupert Sheldrake. And he comes forward and he says, well, it's more of like a morphic field theory where energy is intelligent in and of itself. And so, yeah, it possibly is layered, but it's very intelligent and therefore it can express itself the way that it is needed. So maybe it's not so organized like we want it to be. In our 3D world, I think organization is very wonderful. Oh my God, check out my closet. I got boxes with labels and lids on them, and they're all stacked and it's neat. And I go into the closet and I go, I'm looking for, oh, there it is. And I go and find it and I pull it out and it's wonderful. I don't intuitively walk into my closet and swing my hands around and go, where are you, paper? And like dramatically get called to it intuitively, though that is a skill. And I do that at bookstores and at the grocery store when I'm shopping for fruit. Besides that, I don't necessarily do it in my closet. I like things organized, labeled, and in a place. But when we think about engaging in our energetic field, which is, I do agree, intelligent in and of itself, and doesn't necessarily need to be organized and labeled to be working for us. So here's where we're making this transition between this 3D and 5D. Transitions, which I do have a healing coming up on that later this month. I think it's the 20th. I do have a short healing coming up tomorrow. It is a free Reiki session. I'm just dropping that bomb in because I just remembered. It's tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it is free or donation based. So if you're wanting to experience some energy healing, quantum healing, subtle light energy, we will be working within your auric field, your energy field. So if you want to experience that, please join me on Learn It Live. Invite anyone and everyone. And it is recorded. It does stay up, so you can come back and watch, observe, attend to it as much as you would like. Okay, getting back to coming from 3D to 5D. We're stepping out of even the choice of vocabulary. You know, you listen to people talk about spirituality or talk about human existence. You know, we're adding more, I want to say flavor. Is it okay if I say flavor? Blow me up if that's not the word to use these days. But they're adding a flavor of this is not consistent, concise, and reliable. We're using more words that are showcasing a fluidity, which, in my opinion, it comes from a more heart-centered acceptance. Let's accept you for who you are. Who are you? Who are you identifying as? Great, that is who you are, and that is how I accept you. It is no longer saying, but these are the rules of the game. And if you don't play by the rules of the game, we can't identify you. We don't know who you are. You can't play. So it's broadening. We're having a breakout of 3D forms and getting into 5D form, which is dropping from head energy to heart energy and coming more into the acceptance of all rather than the labeling of all. This is going to be fun. Oh, Hi, Amy. Thank you so much. You enjoyed last week's healing. I did too. I really didn't want it to end. It was kind of a wild one. Yay. I'll take her energy any way I can. Amy, you're so funny. Thank you, because your need is my dream. It helps my dream of being here and talking and sharing and hosting healings and so forth. So come tomorrow, 2:30. Okay, getting back into energy fields. We talked about the differences, the more fixed, rigid, labeled versus the morphic field, one that shifts and changes to feed presently what is needed. You're going to have to decide what yours is looking like. But if you would like to learn more about what those layers do for you, especially what frequencies they hold and how they present to you. So let's say you're having ADHD or vicious cycling of thinking. How about like just intrusive thinking, blah, 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 loud head, can't calm. We can identify where in your aura this is coming from. And you can energy match frequencies in your auric field. Does this sound kind of sci-fi? It kind of does. But you are not a stagnant person. You are actually an electrical being. You're a subtle light being. You're in a physical body, but that subtle light contains positive, negative, and neutral energy currents, just like the plug on your wall that your device plugged in to charge up so that we could hang out like this. That is what your body is. So if we know that that's the way that we are, I just looked down and read April's statement. That's so freaking cool. Jamie, do you paint? You should paint one of those healing sessions look like. That would be so cool. What would it look like to you? Oh my gosh. I do paint. I don't claim to be amazing at it, but I do. Nana's sharing. Nana Rosebud. Hi, it's so nice to see you here again. Does music help your energy field? I wonder. Yes. So in looking at the example of having ADHD or a busy mind or intrusive thoughts, the act of mindfulness can help that mental body, which is a part of your auric field. Traditionally, the lead beaters way, we would say it is the third layer of your energetic field. That's not necessarily how I see people, and I've been studying auric fields for over 30 years. So I like to talk about the classical way of learning, what I have discovered, and maybe what somebody else is saying. The way that I like to teach, I don't just come in and say, this is the truth, this is what I know to be, and this is the way you're going to learn it. I like to present a plethora, there's a word for you, a plethora of approaches so that you can understand auric fields, energy fields, the way that you need to, right? We are different. We're going to approach things from different ways. It is my job as a teacher, or I like to have it my job as a teacher, to present information from a 360 so you're fed no matter what point we are talking about. So this music is frequency. This music, let's say we find a frequency that matches for that mindfulness act or that ability to come off a vicious cycle, and we can energy match it to your field so that it can soothe, assist, help heal, balance, harmonize. This is why Hertz healing, Maitland talks about, what hurts for the month that you can listen to. And it's not Hertz like, ouch, that hurts me. It's Hertz, Hertz, what frequency that you can listen to that will help your energetic body build a certain level of strength or acceptance for the energy that's rolling in for the month. I think this month's for March was a 741, which I haven't really studied quite a lot, so I'm kind of excited about this one. But you might find songs and music that really calm your head. Or, guys, you might find a person that calms your head. You might find an animal that calms your head. You might find a plant that calms your head. Have you ever stood next to somebody and you're just like super scattered? You're like, oh, there's so much, there's so much. And you stand next to them, you're like, hi, how are you? You get into a brief conversation and your head goes, home, and just kind of levels out. You're like, I feel really good when I'm around you. I feel so calm. I feel so light. I feel fluffy. I feel good, just their frequency is merging into your auric field, and your auric field, your energy field, is energy matching. It's just a really cool thing. Actually, I really want to write a book on it, and I just find it so beautiful yet overwhelming. I've started so many times. Energy recipes. Take this frequency and pair it with this. And all of these items are the same or similar frequency in the same treatment field. So if you have this and you want to balance or calm it out, use these sets of frequencies. Marta's like, please write it. Because if we're looking at a busy mind, yeah. I mean, you could use stones, aromatherapy, you could use hertz frequencies, you could use chanting, the voice. Oh my God, your human voice. Singing the song that you like, Nana. Sing the song that you like. That is extremely powerful. For those of you who sing in your car and sing in your shower, I salute you. You are healing. Like my husband is a little songbird, but he whistles everything. And sometimes he will whistle so much, it actually gets on my nerves a tiny bit. And I'm like, babe, do you even know you're whistling? It's just on and on and on and on and on. And there's no silence. And I'm constantly going, what song is that? I got to figure out, name that tune. What's he whistling? And it will be some like song I don't even know, like something you would not whistle. Anywho, enough about that. Energy matching, energy frequency matching. So yes, listening to songs can help you out. Singing songs can help you out. Listening to hertz and frequencies can help you out. But first, knowing what your energetic field does for you. It's, to me, it's a little bit of a ground foundational start. Like if you're in the healing realm, I would say ground foundational knowledge to me is Reiki. Learning that, this kind of universal energy concept, and toying and getting to know that and building a relationship with that, which, by the way, shout out to my 5 new Reiki masters. Yay, you did it. They graduated last Sunday. I'm very happy. And we have one of my students, Sarah, is actually doing a donation Reiki online this Sunday. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but she's over in the UK. I don't know if you have that, Colleen, if you can post up Sarah's Reiki donation. So this is going to be her first, like stepping out and doing her work, and her energy it's so sweet. It's so soft. If you're looking for like a sweet hold or a caring, you got it. It's there on Sunday waiting for you. I love that in my eyes, there is no competition in this world at all. There is room for all of us, and I fully believe it. It's community over competition, and I'm all behind it. Marta's like energy, frequency, matching recipes. Yes, that's the book I want to write. It will teach you about your aura. It will teach you all about these like basics. So if you want to be, interested in healing, I would say start with Reiki as a foundation and then build and layer. Like it could be pranic healing, it could be other modalities, Jinsen Jiatsu, all this kind of stuff. If you're looking at just getting to know your energetic body, like chakras, get to know your chakras, get to know your energy field. I would say that is ground zero. Instead of jumping into communicate to spirit, communicate to others, communicate to source. And I know that is a very like loving approach to want to have that kind of connection, but know thyself first. You are number one. You are in your instrument. Please know yourself first. There's Sarah's free donation-based Reiki healing. Check that link out too. I'm always so proud of my Luminaires. That's how I want to say it. I'm proud of my Luminaires. Mitzi says, I love listening to the meditation bowl music. Oh, wow. Isn't that just out of this universe? That helps me so much. She says, I also sing all the time, and it really does my heart well. You got it. You totally got it. That's it. Yay. Martha, thank you. So, we started off talking about getting to know your energy field and discovering you choosing, is it 7 definite layers, all organized all the time, everybody, or is it a morphic field, or is it somewhere in the middle? The way that I see it is somewhere in the middle. And I would love to talk to you about that. I will do that tomorrow in class, though. I don't want to take up your time now. There's something else I wanted to bring to the table that if anybody here is interested in launching their business, whether that's launching their healing career, launching their mediumship skills, anything to do with pretty much anything, whether that's their lecturing, and you are a highly sensitive person or a psychic or intuitive person, and you're going to be on the entrepreneurial path, I am going to launch in June my JB mentorship program, and that will go through the end of December. And in this, we meet once a week. We have some weeks off, for holidays and taking breaks, but once a week. And then I get together with you one-on-one once a month to do a reading, to check in with your guides. But I help you develop your business plans and to launch your businesses to support your sensitivities. I mean, it is a whole new world, talking about going from 3D to 5D. It's a whole new world to run a business in the way that society has the expectation of a business to be run when you're highly sensitive. You can get burnt out real easy. You can feel absolutely crazy insane, feeling like some of you are going, yes, yes. Even if you're not in your own, like you own your own business, but you're in business and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I really want to say this and do this, but I'm not allowed to because the rules say no. But when you're an entrepreneur, you can create your own rules, but sometimes it's just so big and broad, it's hard to shape it. So I would love to help you shape that. At max, I'll probably accept just 12. I like to keep things small so that I can have just one-on-one conversations. We start a WhatsApp chat thread. So we're in touch for the whole 6 months, and we can just pull in all areas of your life to help you develop this business plan and get it launched. Can you talk about, Amy says, the courage it takes to be an entrepreneur? I'm having some issues and fear around stepping out. Oh, yeah. Or about stepping out. Yeah, that is absolutely real. And I mean, let's think about it. Most of us who are energy sensitive didn't go to a college. We didn't get trained in it. We came across it. Some of us stumbled into it. Some of us woke up like this. And it's just like, what do I do now? How can I get help? And we're not even taught how to ask for help when it comes to this kind of experience, meaning psychic, clairvoyant, intuitive, things of this nature, the multi-clairs. So we didn't go to college and we didn't get a degree. And we're taught that if you got a degree or a piece of paper in it, then it meant something. And therefore you had an approval to run a business of that caliber. Now we're dealing with natural intuitive abilities. How do you say to someone that my abilities, though they're natural and I did not study under someone and get a degree or certification, is comparable to that of someone who went to school and college for 2, 4, 6, 10 years, and now I have a business? I know. So we talk a lot about that in the mentorship. And my opinion is that when you find something that you love fiercely and you feel called to it no matter what, that is the path. And I talk a lot about ethics. And Amy, I think it really helps when you're thinking about coming forward and putting a shingle out and saying, I'm a medium, I'm a reader, I'm a healer, I'm an intuitive, I'm whatever labels you're using, that look at your ethics and integrity first. So I did a lot of research. I was in college when I started my business. And first it was just word of mouth. It was like before internet. I say that out loud. It was before all this. And But I did a lot of research in how people presented themselves, and I really wasn't in alignment with that. And therefore, I thought I shouldn't be doing it. I wanted a business that was more reliable. Back then, you would book a reading with someone and a psychic. And then the psychic would say, well, on Tuesday, I will call you and we will do this. But you wouldn't really pick a time, and maybe it wouldn't happen. And it would take like 3 or 4 times to make your schedules align. And I just didn't feel comfortable working like that. I wanted to say Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And if I need to cancel, I'll cancel, within 24 hours, or I'll do this. Like, I wanted policies. I wanted agreements and terms. I wanted to be very clear about what was happening. I wanted to be very clear with the service that you're receiving from me. I didn't want them to come in and have a certain expectation that I was not going to meet. That's scary. So I spend a lot of time helping you develop, like, where's your integrity levels? What ethics need to be applied for your craft or your ability? What are your follow-throughs? What are your terms and agreements to the services that you provide or to the products that you sell? And then I also talk a lot about diversity, because there's a big burnout. Anybody who is in service, any kind of service, but this one-on-one service, you have a high rate of burnout because there's very little time scheduled in to care for self. I mean, we could just turn our eyes right now to healthcare, and we can look at our beloved nurses. I love each and every one of you deeply. We can look at you and look at the system that you went through, all the schooling, all the variations of what you need to know, and then you specialize and you get into something and you work. And there wasn't anything in there. If there was, it might have been like a 1 credit course on how to take care of yourself. But the system isn't like, hey, 12-hour shifts might be too much. How about we lessen that? Or offering self-care, offering a space for you to speak up and say, what I just did in that room with that person, with this family, I need 15 minutes to close my eyes so that I am at 100% again, so that I can keep giving. There's just not that language. So how do we break the system to fit being highly sensitive so that we can thrive and not burn out, so that we can keep showing up with this drive of excitement? I want to do a reading. I'm so excited for you. I'm here for you. I have my ups and downs. I think it's really great that you figure out, this goes for anyone who is sensitive, psychic, intuitive, it's you. Look at your schedule and look at where does it peak in the day? Where does it peak over the week? Where does it peak over the month? Does it align with your natural strengths? Because you have highs and lows each day. You have highs and lows throughout a week, and you have highs and lows throughout a month. If your schedule is heavy-ended on those times of the day, week, or month that you're naturally soft, tired, drained, then how are you upholding? How are you doing? Can you change it? So we look real in depth about how to figure out those points. And we create a calendar. You go home and you create a calendar, and then you plan your schedule of your work in that calendar. So you're always writing your high points, and your low soft points are the times that you do all of your self-care. So having that together, I think, Amy, helps someone come forward out of their quietness or their introvert into saying, this is the service I want to offer, and I am in charge of my own career. And I will never sit here and tell you that being an entrepreneur is so easy and it's so wonderful, because you tend to work all the time. And so we talk a lot about how to stop. You got to stop. You got to take time off. It's equally as valuable than the work time. And then we create budgets around that to support that rhythm, instead of supporting the rhythm of working all the time to barely pay your bills. Yeah, take yourself seriously. You have to. I wish there was a lot more just honest talk about being psychic and intuitive and running your own business. I enjoy a lot more honest talk in the world about, you know, things that don't get a lot of viewing, like women going into menopause or being pregnant and giving birth. Like women are wild. We're all like, yay, good for you. It's awesome. It's great. Yeah, you're making a family. But there's some changes that happen, and so now we kind of look at people who are psychic. We're like, oh, good, you're psychic. Good for you. But why can't we talk about the hardships of it too? And the hardships of how do you stay high frequency, high vibe, however you want to call it, and be in a 3D world? A lot of us have one foot on the boat and one foot on the dock. And one foot is just a bobbing and trying to reach higher frequencies, and the other one's trying to ground us. And it's just nuts. Pretty soon, we're all going to fall one way or another. This is kind of like that little divide Maitland talks about, diving into higher frequencies or staying 3D. But if you're sitting here and you're like, gosh, I haven't really dove into some like basics, I haven't really thought about my auric field. I just know it's there. And I tap into it when I do healings, or I tap into it when I do some of my psychic work. I mean, why not know a little bit more about it? Get curious. That's why I'm here and just chatting it up today. And I went down so many rabbit holes with you. Thank you. So I was watching the chat thread, hoping that if you had any insights, questions, or aha moments, you would put your fingers to the keyboard. But I see that you guys are full, and I want to thank you so much for being here. And if you want to join me for some more journeys, I can see you tomorrow for our free Reiki donation base. It's at 2:30. And then I'll also be around at 3:30 for the auric layers to dive into. Hey, Shay. Hi, Tina. I'm so excited that I'm seeing you live. Oh, were we just talking to each other? I love this. Thank you. I'd love to see you tomorrow, Shay. Thank you. Hey, in our healing sessions, if you've got crystals that you're massively in love with, bring them tomorrow. Bring them in. Let's do a little crystal layout with our Reiki tomorrow. Reiki plays friends with so many modalities, all the modalities, all the belief systems. You don't have to be religious or non-religious. You just be you. Just come with all of who you are. Be there. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Mitzi. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys, and I will see you tomorrow or next time that we gather. Bye, everyone. Remember, it's not woo-woo. I know. It's true. It's true. See you guys. Bye.